You to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
Not your average nigga, I'm a god out the hood. They can't downplay me, I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. Then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. I don't look at you people the same. Nah. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Yeah. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still wanna think our history started when we were slaves? What? Come on now, talk about them pyramids we made. I was chosen by that man, you know y'all just been running game. The nerve of you acting like...
Assalamu alaikum, family, and welcome to Shifting the Culture podcast. I am your host, Brother King Cam, and this is our Thursday night Conscious Culture Book Club, where we're going to be picking up where we left off last week with Message to the Blackman. Message to the Blackman, family. So, want to welcome everybody to the stream. I do want to apologize. There was a mandatory meeting that I had to be in tonight. So because of that mandatory meeting, it pushed everything back. So I wanted to just come on, let everybody know about that. But we are cooking right now, family. We cooking. So to the Facebook family that's tapped in, I need you to like and share. I need my Twitter family to retweet. I need my YouTube family to smash that like button. Do me a favor, smash the like button so that you can stay notified each and every time that we drop a video. When you hit that bell, and to help build our family over there on YouTube. And shout out to the Instagram family that's tapped in. All right, make sure tapped in. We good to go. All right. I ain't want no peeking on the mic. Don't want no peeking on the mic. So look, also, I need you to hit the comment section. Let me know what city and state that you tuned in from. I want you to let me know what city and state that you tuned in from tonight. And this is the new installment, new thing that we're going to be doing is our Conscious Culture Book Club. So I felt the need to start reading books, and it's definitely good to read books when you got somebody to read them with versus reading them by yourself. So that's the purpose of the Conscious Culture Book Club installment, family. So, man, I appreciate everybody that's joined in tonight. And, man, please make sure if you don't have a copy of this, I'm working on getting a copy. I'm working on getting a PDF of Message to the Blackman so I can have it on the screen when I'm reading. So, inshallah, which means God willing, next week, we'll have the PDF of Message to the Blackman so that we can be able to follow along for those who do not have the physical copy. All right. For those who do not have the physical copy. But let me know, like I said, what city and state that you're tuning in from off of the in the comment section. All right. Wa alaikum salam, Brother Roy. He always tapped in. Shout out to Vegas in the building. All right. So we want to go ahead and get started because we don't want to be long tonight. I do actually have another show that I'm going to be on that's already in motion right now that I'll be joining shortly after we finish this here. But this is important. This is very important. All right. So make sure you share this out. Let's get this out to as many people and tap in. All right. Let's get this out to as many people and tap in. So we read the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chapters of Message to the Blackman last Thursday. Last Thursday, we read the first 5. We got into who is that mystery God and who is that mystery God part 2. And we really broke down the essence of God being made a spook or a spirit, which, as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us, is a new teaching. And because the people did not have the knowledge of God and did not know of the reality of God, they made up their own. I'm going to say that again. They made up their own understandings of who and what God is. All right. So, oh shoot, I left my bag upstairs. All right, so because of that, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad had to come and straighten us out. All right, he had to come and straighten us out. So with that being said, we're gonna now move into. Oh, am I being heard? Can y'all hear me? Let me see. Hold on. No, I can be heard. I just got a text message. Brother Roy, can y'all hear me? Let me check the sound. My daughter be playing on the soundboard. Can y'all hear me? Check. Brother Roy. Check. No, the levels is good. I'm good. Yeah, the levels is good. Yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comment section, can y'all hear me? Let me know in the comment section, can y'all hear me? Let me know. I need to know. Are you able to hear me in the comment section? All right. Okay, yes, brother. All right. Gwen said they can hear me. Yeah, I can be heard fine. Yeah, I can be heard fine. All right. So now that we have went past and got the understanding of who and what God is and the reality of God from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, now we're moving into the next aspect, which is the coming of the Son of Man, the great Mahdi. So we on page 10, the coming of the Son of Man, the great Mahdi. Yeah, somebody saying that they can't hear me, but everybody else said they can hear me. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, y'all. All right. I had to put that do not disturb on too. Yeah, I had to put that do not disturb on. All right. Cut the music down. Let's get into the reading. All right, so we on page 10. The coming of the Son of Man, the great Mahdi. All right, and what I want y'all to do after we read the next 5 chapters, because these chapters are short too, so it's not real long. But once we read these next 5, I'm going to ask you all to come and give your feedback. So I'm going to put the link in the chat so you have an opportunity to give your feedback so we can kind of see what your thoughts are on what we read, okay? So that's how we want to do this. All right, so the coming of the Son of Man, the great Mahdi. For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. And that's Matthew chapter 24:27. My greatest and only desire is to bring true understanding of the word of God, his prophets, and the scriptures, which the prophets were sent with, pertaining to the lost found people, the American so-called Negroes of God, and the judgment of the world. You must forget about ever seeing the return of Jesus, who was here 2,000 years ago. Set your heart on seeing the one that he prophesied would come at the end of the present world's time, the white racist time. He is called the Son of Man, the Christ, the Comforter. You are really foolish to be looking to see the return of the prophet Jesus. It is the same as looking for the return of Abraham, Moses, and Muhammad. All of these prophets prophesied the coming of Allah, or one with equal power, under many names. You must remember that Jesus could not have been referring to himself as returning to the people in the last days. He prophesied of another's coming, who was much greater than he. Jesus even acknowledged that he did not know when the hour would come in these words. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Matthew 24:36. If he were to return, if he were to want to return at the end of the world, surely he would have had knowledge of the time of his return, the knowledge of the hour. But he left himself out of that knowledge and placed it where it belonged, as all the others prophets had done. No prophet has been able to tell us the hour of the judgment. No one but he, the great all-wise God Allah. He is called the Son of Man, the Mahdi, the Christ. The prophets, Jesus included, could only foretell those things which would serve as signs. Signs that would precede such a great one's coming to judge the world. The knowledge of the hour of the judgment is with the executor only. The prophets teach us to let the past judgments of people, their cities, and their warners serve as a lesson or sign of the last judgment and its warners. Noah did not know the hour of the flood. Lot did not know the hour of Sodom and Gomorrah until the executors had arrived, and Jesus prophesied in 24:37 through 39. It will be the same in the last judgment of the world of Satan. You have gone astray because of your misunderstanding of the scripture, the prophet Jesus, and the coming of God to judge the world. My corrections are not accepted. Your misunderstanding and misinterpretation of it is really the joy of devils. For it is the devil's desire to keep the so-called Negroes ignorant of the truth of God until they see it with their eyes. The truth of God is the salvation and freedom of the so-called Negroes from the devil's power. Can you blame them? No. Blame yourself, being so foolish as to allow the devils to fool you and not accepting the truth after it comes to you. The devils have tried to deceive people all over the earth with Christianity. That is, God the Father, Jesus the Son, the Holy Ghost, three gods into one, the resurrection of the Son, and his return to judge the world. Or that the Son is in some place above the earth, sitting on the right-hand side of the Father, waiting until the Father makes his enemies his footstool. The period of waiting is 2,000 years. Yet he died for the Father to save his enemies, the whole world of sinners. My friends, use a bit of common sense. First, could a wonderful flesh and blood body made of the essence of our earth last 2,000 years on the earth or off the earth without being healed? Second, where exists such a heaven of the earth that flesh and blood of the earth can exist, since the Bible teaches that flesh and blood cannot enter heaven? Flesh and blood cannot survive without that of which it is made, the earth. Jesus' prophecy of the coming of the Son of Man is very clear if you rightly understand. First, this removes all doubts about who we should expect to execute judgment. For if man is to be judged and rewarded according to his actions, who could be justified in sitting as judge of man's doings but another man? How could a spirit be our judge when we cannot see spirit? And ever since life was created, life has had spirit. But the Bible teaches that God will be seen on the day of judgment. Not only the righteous will see him, but even his enemies shall see him. On that day, a son of man will sit to judge men according to their works, who is the father of this son, coming to judge the world. Is his father of flesh and blood, or is he a spirit? Where is this son of man coming from? Prophet Jesus said he will come from the east. Matthew 24:27. From the land and people of Islam, where all of the former prophets came from. Jesus compared his coming as the lightning. Of course, lightning cannot be seen or heard at a great distance. The actual light, the truth, which shineth even unto the west, is our day sun. But the Son of Man's coming is like both the lightning and our day sun. His work of the resurrection of the mentally dead so-called Negroes and judgment between truth and falsehood is compared with lightning on an instant. His swiftness in condemning the falsehood is like the sudden flash of lightning in a dark place. America is that dark place where the darkness has blinded the people so that they cannot find the right way out. The sudden flash of lightning enables them to see that they are off from the right path. They walk a few steps toward the right way, but soon have to stop and wait for another bright flash. What they actually need is the light of the sun, God in person, that they may clearly see their way. The lightning does More than flash a light, it is also destructive, striking whom Allah pleases, or taking property as well as lives. The brightness of its flashes almost blinds the eyes. So it is with the coming of the Son of Man with the truth, to cast it against falsehood that breaks the head. Just a little hint of it makes the falsehood begin looking guilty and seeking cover from the brightness of the truth. Sometimes lightning serves as a warning of an approaching storm. So does Allah warn us by sending his messengers with truth before the approaching destruction of a people to whom chastisement is justly due. They come flashing the truth in the midst of the spiritually darkened people. Those who love spiritual darkness will close their eyes to the flash of truth, like lightning pointing out to them the right way, thus blinding themselves from the knowledge of the approaching destruction of the storm of Allah, and are destroyed. As the lightning cometh out the east, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Let us reflect on this prophecy from the direction in which this Son shall come out of the east. If he is to come from the east to chastise or destroy that of the west, then he must be pleased with the east. The dominant religion of the east is Islam. The holy religious teachings of all the prophets from Adam to Muhammad was none other than Islam. Holy Quran, Surah 4, chapter 4, verse 163. They all were of the east and came from that direction with the light of the truth and shone toward the old wicked darkness of the west. But the west has ever closed its eyes, thus making it necessary for the coming of the Son of Man, the great Mahdi, God in person. Being the end of the signs in his person, he dispels falsehood with the truth, as the sun dispels night on its rising from the east. Why should the tribes of the earth mourn because the coming of the Son of Man instead of rejoicing? All right, family. So the next chapter we're reading now is called The Coming of Allah God. Check the comments section real quick. Tap in. All praise is due to Allah. All right, family. If you're just checking in, we read a message to the Blackman. We on page 13. And we'll definitely want you to make sure that you let me know what city and state that you're checking in from. All right. So let's go. The coming of Allah God. The reality of God. I have been and am still trying to make clear to you how important it is. This knowledge of the true God, the reality of God, has been and is even now a mystery to the world of mankind, with a few exceptions. The day has come that all mankind must know the reality of Allah God. There can be no judgment of the people until his knowledge has been given to the people. How can we serve a God without knowledge of him? My people, the so-called Negroes, the tribe of Shabazz, are the worst off when it comes to the reality of God. The whole world has been and is looking for the coming of God. Several places in both the Bible and Holy Quran refer to the coming of Allah God, the coming of the Son of Man. Referring to God as the Son of Man should remove all doubts as to his being anything other than a man. The Bible mentions him as the Son of Man and also mentions him as not being a man but a spirit. On one side, he is made clear, and on the other, he is made a mystery. Representation such as this causes confusion and understanding. We are blind to the knowledge of God when we make him a mystery and unreal. Anyone so blind to the reality of God is the servant of the devil until he or she sees God as a reality. Thousands of years, the devil has been blinding man to God's reality, and that is the reason why God has to come in person, and he has to clear us of such ignorance and blindness to the knowledge of him. Therefore, we have the coming of Allah God. He is referred to as the Son of Man because first, he is the Son of Man and gotten for a special purpose, which is to return the lost back to their own and to punish and destroy the wicked. For their destruction of all the righteous, that the righteous may live in peace and do the will of God of righteousness, free from trouble and interference. Second, he must be a man to deal with the man, and we cannot receive or respect other than man. Since his work is to destroy the wicked, he must remain hidden from the eyes of the world until the time is ripe, the end. For the two, God and devil, cannot rule together. The Son of Man, Allah, must wait until his time after the works of the devil. 2 Thessalonians 2 verses 8 and 9 and Holy Quran chapter 7 verses 14 through 18 and another place in the Holy Quran describes them as the people with the blue eyes. Holy Quran chapter 20 verse 102. Third, the reality of God is as clear as the reality of the devil, but we did not know it until his coming to judge the world. For instance, if we take God for something other than a man, not the man devil, we cannot prove it. If we believe that he is a spirit and not a man, then we can never expect to have any knowledge of him except by the sense of feel. We cannot see a spirit, therefore the teachings of his coming would be false. The spirit of life is and has been with all of us, all of our lives. God is in person among us today. He is a man. He is in his time. God sees, hears, knows, wills, acts, and is in person. Man, the evil workings of the devil must come to an end. The coming of God and the gathering together of his people. The prophets have warned us of a time that would come when God would judge the wicked and punish, or rather destroy, the wicked and give the earth over to the rule of a righteous people. So many of us have misunderstood just what we should expect. What will God look like? If we expect the destruction of the devil, what will the devil look like? How will I distinguish him? If the devil should be destroyed, what does that devil look like? In order not to follow him to his destruction, I must be able to recognize him so that he won't be able to deceive me. What world's end will come, and what is that world that is going to end? Does that include everything that makes up the solar system, the planet Earth? If so, what shall we expect? What kind of solar system will we have after the destruction of the present one? Think over these things. We must get down to the facts so that we can recognize them when they are presented to us. But you never question the first teacher. Shouldn't we be fair about this? Let us go after this thing right. If we want to give each teacher justice, we should start with the first one. When Moses began to preach to the Hebrews to make themselves ready to go out to another country that God had promised their fathers on the condition that they believe and obey, here was the reply. Who made you judge over us? Let us question this as they questioned Moses. Why didn't you question Pharaoh? Who made you judge over us? Question me with facts. If they did not question Pharaoh, why should they question Moses, since Pharaoh didn't say that God sent him? They should have made Pharaoh answer the question. Who made you God over us? They were born under Pharaoh's teaching. Therefore, from their early existence, they believed in Pharaoh, right or wrong. They worshiped Pharaoh's God, and when Moses made himself present, they wanted Moses to give them a good knowledge of who has sent him and made him such a man. If today a Moses were in your midst and he said, the God of your fathers has sent me, and the government of America has deceived you as to the knowledge of God and has you indirectly worshiping them, wouldn't your reply be the same as the one given to Moses? That is right. You are asking me that. A man questioned me the other day when he said, you mean to say that you talked to God face to face? Where was Moses? And what time was that? What did the God have in mind? If no one has gone to heaven or seen the face of God, then all of these prophets are liars. You must think these things over. You have a lot to learn if you understand it. Otherwise, you are still in the dark as to the truth. We are here to know whether God has visited America or whether he is yet to come. The hour can come at any day because it is prophesied that it will come in any hour that you think not. Naturally, I had expected it to come at a certain day, but the book said that you won't know the day nor the hour. If all of these signs of his coming are exhausted and I don't see any end to the world, that is to show me that it could take place at any time. If there is such a thing as a judgment of the world, as you and I believe, if there are signs. Somebody mute up. Hold on. And to make sure you mute your mic. Okay. That's what it is. I apologize. Is that you still hear the echo? Okay, I don't hear the echo no more. All right. Yeah, I can, but but go ahead and mute up. That way I don't hear the echo. All right, sweet. Okay, family. So I lost my spot. Hold up. Oh yeah, all of the prophets are liars. You must think these things over. You have a lot to learn if you understand it. Otherwise, you are still in the dark as to the truth. We are here to know whether God has visited America or whether he is yet to come. The hour can come at any day because it is prophesied that it will come in any hour that you think not. Naturally, I had expected it to come at a certain day, but the book said you won't know the day nor the hour if all of these signs of his coming are exhausted, and I don't see any end to the world, that is to show me that it could take place at any time. If there's a such thing as a judgment of the world as you and I believe, if there are signs that will be produced before that particular destruction of the old world, how many signs do you know of today that have been fulfilled that must now be fulfilled, that have not been fulfilled that must now be fulfilled? If you know one sign that the Bible refers to that has not as yet taken place, point it out to me. Allah came to us from the holy city Mecca, Arabia in 1930. He used the name Wallace D. Fard, often signing it W.D. Fard. In the third year, 1933, he signed his name W.F. Muhammad, which stands for Wallace Fard Muhammad. He came alone. He began teaching us the knowledge of ourselves, of God and the devil, and the measurement of the earth, of our planets, and the civilization of some of the planets other than Earth. He measured and weighed the earth and its water, the history of the moon, the history of the two nations, black and white, that dominate the earth. He gave the exact birth of the white race, the name of their God and who made them and how, and the end of their time, the judgment, how it will begin and end. He taught us the truth of how we were made slaves and how we were kept in slavery by the slave masters' children. He declared the doom of America, for her evils to us was past due, and that she is number one to be destroyed. Her judgment could not take place until we hear the truth. He declared that we were without the knowledge of self or anyone else. How we have been made blind, deaf, and dumb by these white race of people, and how we must return to our people, our God, and his religion of peace, Islam, the religion of the prophets. We must give up the slave names of our slave masters and accept the name of Allah God, or one of his divine attributes. He also taught us to give up all the evil doings and practices and righteousness and do righteousness or be destroyed from the face of the earth. He taught us that the slave masters had taught us to eat the wrong food, and that this wrong food is the cause of our sickness and short span of life. He declared that he would heal us and set us in heaven at once if we would submit to him. Otherwise, he would chastise us with a severe chastisement until we did submit. and that he was able to force the whole world into submission to his will. He said that he loved us, the so-called Negroes, his lost and found, so well that he would eat rattlesnakes to free us if necessary, for he has the power over all things. I asked him, "Who are you and what is your real name?" He said, "I am the one the world has been expecting for the past 2,000 years. I said to him, "What is your name?" He said, "My name is Mahdi. I am God. I came to guide you into the right path that you may be successful and see the hereafter." He described the destruction of the world with bombs, poison gas, and finally with fire that would consume and destroy everything in the present world. Nothing of the present world of white mankind will be left. Those escaping the destruction would not be allowed to carry anything out with them. He pointed out a destructive, dreadful-looking plane that is made like a wheel in the sky. It is a half-mile by a half-mile square. It is a humanly built planet. It is up there and can be seen twice a week. It is no secret. Ezekiel saw it a long time ago. It was built for the purpose of destroying the present world. He also hinted at plaguing the world with rain, snow, hail, and earthquakes. He spoke with authority, not as one who was under authority, but as one independent. He said the world's time was out in 1914, but people could get an extension of time depending upon their treatment of the righteous. He declared that there could be no judgment until the so-called Negroes hear Islam, whether we accept it or not. This includes the history of the world and a knowledge of God and the devil. He condemned the teachings of God. Not being a man as a lie from the devils for the past 6,000 years. He said that Christianity was a religion organized and backed by the devils for the purpose of making slaves of black mankind. I also bear witness that it certainly has enslaved my people here in America 100%. He chose me to bear the message of life, Islam, to my people. Here, Islam is our salvation. It removes fear, grief, and sorrow from any believer, and it brings to us peace of mind of contentment. The greatest hindrance to the truth of our people is the preacher of Christianity. He will not accept it, nor is he content to let others alone who are trying to accept the truth. He is the man who stands in the way of the salvation of his people, and as soon as the people awaken to the knowledge of this man in their way to God, freedom, justice, and equality, and stop following him, the sooner they will be in heaven while they live. All praise is due to Allah. So, hold on, let me see. One. Oh, we got a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. One more. This is 5. The coming of the Son of Man. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all of the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. This is Matthew 24:30. Here, in the plainest of words, is the Son of Man on the judgment day. We are not told by either Moses or Jesus to look for God on judgment day to be anything other than man. Spirits and spooks cannot be the judge of man's affairs. Man is material of the earth. How long will you be ignorant of the reality of God? You are poisoned by the devil's touch. Why are you looking for a God that is not flesh and blood as you are? Spirits can only be found in another being like yourself. What pleasure would you have in the invisible world? And on the other hand, what pleasure would spirits have in the material universe of ours? Your very nature is against your being anything other than a human being. These are the days of the resurrection of the mentally dead so-called Negroes. The Son of Man is here. His coming has been fulfilled. He seeks that which was lost, the so-called Negroes. Many now are receiving his name, and that name alone will save you. The wicked nations of the earth are sorry and angry to see the Son of Man set up a government of justice and peace over this their wicked world. They see signs in the heavens of great power to execute judgment on the world of the wicked, and they mourn. We must have a new ruler and a new government where the people can enjoy freedom, justice, and equality. Let the so-called Negroes rejoice, for Allah has prepared for them what the eye has not seen, the ear has not heard, and the heart has not been able to conceive. The enemy knows this to be true and is now doing everything to prevent the so-called Negroes from seeing the hereafter. All right, family. So that's been the 5. All right. I'm going to have to get some readers up here because y'all not going to wear me out. Y'all not going to wear me out. We're going to have to get some readers up in here to read some of these chapters. All right, family. So, man, that is the reading for tonight. And I would like to just talk about what stood out to me. Those who are just tuning in, family, make sure you let me know what city and state that you're tuning in from. You can hit the comment section and let us know what city and state that you're tapping in from. I need you to like. I need you to smash the like button on YouTube and smash the like button on Facebook. I need you to make sure that you engaging and you interacting on Instagram and retweeting on Twitter. All right, because we live on all of those different platforms. The engagement is what gets it popping and gets more people attracted to what we're talking about and what we have going on. So let's get active, family. All right. So, man, just reading this book and going over some of what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is teaching us, it gives us a feeling now, and I'm just speaking of myself, of the condition of our people as well as the scriptures being fulfilled. And I want to say this. This was highlighted, right? Because he talked about how when Moses was talking to the children of Israel, when Moses told them that God had sent him to them, they questioned Moses and asked Moses, "Who made you judge over us?" But look, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, check this out. You got to question the first teacher. So he then poses the question, well, why didn't you question Pharaoh, who made you judge over us? Question me with facts. This is the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad talking. He said, look, question him with facts. If they did not question Pharaoh, why should they question Moses, since Pharaoh didn't say that a God sent him? They should have made Pharaoh answer the question, who made you God over us? They were born under Pharaoh's teaching. Now, this is important because you're looking at now the psychology of the people whom God has come to save. And the messenger or warner who he raised up from among that people, this is the response that we give him. He lets us know that the God sent him to us. Our response to him is, who made you a God over us? However, we don't question the first teacher. Come on. We didn't question our teachers of religion. We didn't question the pastor. We didn't question the theologians who gave us the teaching that God was a spook and that God was a spirit. We didn't question that. But we question the one who God has commissioned. We got all the smoke for him. So he says, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we should have asked Pharaoh the question, since Pharaoh didn't say that a God sent him. Pharaoh never said that a God sent him. See, white folks never told you God sent them when they was teaching us. They never said that, but we never questioned the first teacher. Think about that. So, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad goes on to explain that they were born under Pharaoh's teaching. Therefore, from their early existence, they believed in Pharaoh, right or wrong. Now, tell me, who did that sound like? Huh? Who does that sound like? Who believe in the open enemy, right or wrong? That's us. Yeah, that's us. That's you and I. That's you and I. Black people here in America. Let any black man stand up and give you some truth. Let them give you some type of facts. Let them give you some alternative information from what you heard from the slave master's children. You don't go and ask them if their information is correct. You got all the smoke for the black man or the black woman standing up asking them, is their information correct? Oh, hold on. Asking them about their credentials. Well, how many degrees you got, brother? How many certifications you got? Where are all your where's all your experience? Where's all your degrees and certifications so that we can know that you've been certified, you've been stamped by the open enemy before we can believe you? This is our thinking now, because we do this to all of our people. But the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has let us know that because we were born up under the slave master's teaching, that's why we think the way that we think. So that was one of the things that stood out to me. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad goes on to say that if today a Moses were in your midst, and he said, the God of your fathers has sent me, and the government of America has deceived you as to the knowledge of God and has you indirectly worshiping them, wouldn't your reply be the same as the one given to Moses? Think about that. Think about that. Wouldn't your reply be the same as the one given to Moses? Because we believe wholeheartedly in the American government. We are inadvertently worshiping the American government. We think them to be all powerful, almighty, all knowing, that they provide food and jobs and shelter for us. So we worship them. I know y'all not going to say nothing. I'm doing the talking now. But I know y'all not going to say nothing. This is real talk though. Real spill. So that's one of the things that stood out. And then the second thing that stood out was the scripture coming to life. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad goes into the coming of the Son of Man. And those who have read the scriptures are familiar with the coming of the Son of Man. And in that coming of the Son of Man, we think that it was the Jesus from 2,000 years ago that's coming back. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has a come to Jesus meeting with us. And in that come to Jesus meeting with us, he explains that that's not the case and that we should forget. He says you must forget about ever seeing the return of Jesus who was here 2,000 years ago and set your heart on seeing the one that he prophesied would come at the end of the present world's time. Okay? See, the Christ comes at the end of the workings of Satan, as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has taught us. The end of the workings of Satan. So the Jesus from 2,000 years ago could not have been Christ because there was 2,000 years of work Satan had to do. But he's called Son of Man, the Christ, the Comforter. He got many names. Matt D got many names. Don't get caught up on the names. He got many names. You are really foolish to be looking to see the return of the prophet Jesus. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is getting us together, letting us know that the Jesus from 2,000 years ago prophesied of one that would come. And he says that the period of waiting is 2,000 years. The period of waiting is 2,000 years. So there was still some work that Satan had to do. So the Jesus of 2,000 years ago could not have been the Christ. And then he asks us about using common sense. He says, well, first, could a wonderful flesh and blood body made of the essence of our earth last 2,000 years on the earth or off the earth without being healed? Remember now, Jesus was murdered 2,000 years ago. You know, stakes in the arms, stakes in the feet, crown of thorns on the head. And that body was never healed. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is saying, how could a body that's not been healed last 2,000 years on the earth or off the earth? Think about it. Think about it. And then he goes on further to talk about the day when the coming of the Son of Man, what is to happen on that day. And it says, on that day, the Son of Man will sit to judge men according to their works. See? So on the coming of the Son of Man is not only going to be witnessed by the righteous, it's going to be witnessed by the wicked. It's powerful, boy. It's powerful stuff now. He's going to be seen and heard where you can't see or hear spirits, even though we all have a spirit. And the scripture says, worship him in spirit and in truth. And it also says that God is spirit. Yes, God is spirit, but he's not spirit outside of the flesh. He's not spirit outside of the body. He's infinite yet finite. The body is finite. The material is finite, but the wisdom of Almighty God is infinite. The spirit is infinite. So the spirit is able to continue on and perpetuate into eternity through the body that the God uses. And that's why we heard in church that God said, prepare me a body, or I will prepare me a body so that I can come down, right? So, yes, God is spirit, but he's not a spirit, all right? Beautiful teaching by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who help us understand these concepts. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the mind of man is infinite. See? The mind of man is infinite. See, so we got to get out of this spooky stuff. I know we watched a lot of, Goosebumps and, horror movies and, Poltergeist and, all these different movies that got you believing in spooks and spirits and haunted houses and ghost chasers and ghost watchers and all that kind of crazy stuff. And that's fictitious, but they wrapped it into the teachings of the prophets to have you looking for a God and praying to a God that is immaterial. And that's just not true. So understanding this, knowing that the coming of the Son of Man is the looking forward to of a man coming, but also that it's taking place, which is very important. Very important. Shout out to the team. We got 100 live watching right now. Shout out to the team. But the God is not only coming, has came. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that I don't preach the coming of God. I teach the presence of God. Think about that. I don't teach the coming of God. I teach the presence of God. Meaning God is present in the world today. He mentioned that several times in the reading. God is present today. He's in the world today. He has control over the affair. As the Holy Quran says, he has control over the affair today. So Allah is present now. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is helping us to get that understanding along with the assistance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So the way that they questioned Moses and the way that the children of Israel questioned Moses at that time, we question the minister like that today. When the minister can't come to us with knowledge from God, we question the minister. So this is the mindset. This is how you know that we are the fulfillment of the children of Israel of Scripture, because we act just like them. And this is why the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us that we are given the scriptures and we're supposed to look at them and in a particular type of way so that we can learn from those stories, learn from those people, learn from those nations, right? It says that the prophets, this is on page 11, the prophets teach us to let the past judgments of people, their cities, and their warners serve as a lesson or a sign of the last judgment and its warners. So we're supposed to look at the Noah history, the history of Moses, the history of Sodom and Gomorrah, the history of Daniel, the history of Salih, the history of, Thamud, the history of all of those who came before us in which God judged those nations and those people. We're supposed to look at that and we're supposed to study that so that we can see them as signs right? And in us seeing them as signs, we can learn from the mistakes of the past. And that's the beauty of it. And this is why it says history. This is what we was taught, that history is best qualified to reward its research. See, when you get the history, now you are qualified to be rewarded the research that's necessary in order for you to understand what's going on. But if you don't have the history, then you can't understand the present time, and you definitely don't know what's coming down the pipe. All right? So let me see. Man, we got so listen, we have our Zoom open, as well as having our broadcast live on to social media. And what we want to encourage all of us to do is to come over to the Zoom, because on the Zoom, we would love to hear your feedback. So we do have at least one person on the Zoom right now. We had two, but we got one person on the Zoom right now. Press 1 if you would like to share your feedback. You don't have to share if you don't want to. Man, walaikum salam, family. If you don't want to share, you don't have to. But we want to encourage, because this is not me preaching to the choir. I would love to hear from you, your feedback as to what we read tonight on the coming of the Son of Man. If you have some feedback you want to give. All right. Now I'm gonna allow the YouTube family, the Facebook family, Twitter, Instagram, you all to press the number 1 in the comment section if you would like to share your feedback as well. I don't know about Instagram if you can, but I know for sure YouTube and Facebook, I'll shoot you the link and you can come up and you can give your feedback as to what you read. All right. You can press the number 1 and give your feedback if you want to do that. And if not, then what we're going to do is close down in the next 5 minutes, because we're not going to belabor the point. Tonight is not a night for me to do the teaching. Tonight is a night for all of us to chime in, similar to study group. Like on Friday nights, there's no minister giving a lecture. On Friday nights, it's about our collective perspective and understanding of the reading. So this is why the study groups are so effective, because it's not coming from one person, it's coming from the whole. So when we all studying one thing or reading one thing, we're able to look at it from different angles. And when we look at it from different angles, we are now able to get a full 360 interpretation of what the word of God is given to us and what divine wisdom and revelation is given to us, because there are multiple lenses looking at the same thing. Hold on, family. So because of that, I'm not trying to hold up the mic. Let me get in this chat real quick. Okay. Oh, okay, that was from earlier. And look, I knew this was the problem. I had the mic muted in the Zoom. So that's why nobody was able to hear me from the Zoom at first. So, and I'm telling them on the Zoom, like, y'all got it messed up. It's on y'all end. No, it was really my end. I was messing up. So let me get over here. All right. So we don't really have nobody that want to give no feedback tonight, family, which is cool. It's all good. So what we're going to do is, let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to close on down. But I appreciate you all for coming through tonight, tapping in. Nope, I don't have it. Okay, so I don't have it. But what I want to encourage you all to do, all 100 people that's tuned in with us live, text the word book club. Text the word book club to 888 294 294-2793. Text the word book club to 888-294-2793. And that will get you on our text list for the book club exclusives. For the Conscious Culture Book Club exclusives, you want to text that, because that's how you get access to the Zoom, which is the private community and where we give feedback. So I want you all to do that. We want to keep those from social media. I want you to come on over and be a part of our private community, because this is how we're going to build a bond. This is how we study together. This is how we tap in. All right. So you do that by texting the word Book Club to 888-294-2793. I'm going to put that in the chat. Text the word. And I got to get ready to jump right now. Book Club to 888-294-2793. All right. To join private community. All right. So I just put that in the chat for those who didn't get it when I said it. But if you text the word Book Club to 888-294-2793, you'll have an opportunity to get access to the Zoom link. And through that Zoom link, you'll be able to come into the private community. And from the private community, you have an opportunity to give the feedback. All right, family? So that's all I have for tonight. I appreciate you. I know the time got pushed back. Like I said, I had a mandatory in-person meeting at 7:30 today. So we wasn't able to go live at 7:30. So we had to push everything back. So hopefully, and this is another reason why you need to be on the text thread, because you can get the communications for different changes. So other than that, though, we appreciate you all for coming, sharing, reading with us. If you didn't share, that's cool. Nobody shared, but guess what? We're gonna keep prompting people to share. We're gonna keep it going. I know it's slow right now, but we're gonna keep it going, family. And we're gonna get some people that's actually gonna share in the next couple of days. So next Thursday, we right back here. We're gonna be picking up. We're gonna be picking up on page 19 in the chapter, "The Coming of the Son of Man, the Infidels Are Angry." So that's what we're going to be picking up, family. And we're going to we're going to read 5 at a time. I think that's a good portion because some of these chapters are so short that we can continue to go on. So we're going to read 5 at a time. And I'm going to be looking for readers too. So as we get more people to come into the book club on Thursdays, people going to have to pick up reading. Y'all not going to be exhausting me doing the reading. And then after I do the reading, then I got to do my takes and all that stuff, So we want to get some crowd participation. All right. So that's what we want to do. So again, man, we appreciate you for tapping in, family. And make sure that you check back in with us Saturday. Make sure you check back in with us Saturday for another episode of Shifting the Culture podcast with yours truly, Brother King Cam, your host. All right, family? So I leave you in the greeting words of peace, as we said in the Arabic language, of Assalamu alaikum.
Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
You know. Not your average nigga, I'm a god out the hood. They can't downplay me. I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. Then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. I don't look at you people the same. Nah. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Yeah. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still want us think our history started when we were slaves? What? Come on now, talk about them pyramids we made. I was chosen by that man, you know y'all just been running game. The nerve of you acting like